Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Shelby and welcome back to Seeds to Garden. I am just watering our little seedlings right now, but I wanted to do a quick video with you guys because I wanted to give you again the good, the bad, and the ugly. So one of the things that could happen when you start gardening, and even after you're an experienced gardener, you may make this mistake. So we had some plants that we felt like would have been safe to come outside. We had hardened them off for about 2 weeks. The 10-day forecast looked okay when we checked it initially. We hadn't seen anything that was dipping below freezing. So we decided to plant out our brassicas, which should be good even in a light frost. However, I just checked on them after last night. We actually had a little bit of a frost, which isn't great. It was about 3 days after we planted them. So I wanted to check on them and see how they are. And we do have some frost damage. So I just wanted to show you guys kind of what that looks like. So I'll take you over to some of our broccoli that did not do so hot. So you'll see that these little plants just have some discoloration on their leaves, and that's basically frostbite. And so what happens with plants that have frost damage is their cells actually get full with water and then they freeze, and then when they dethaw they actually explode. So what happens then is basically that part of the plant dies. And has a hard time getting sunlight and turning that into food sources because they don't have any plant cells. So that's what that looks like typically. You'll also see like just the yellowing of this plant is very stressed out. It looks like he got some frostbite on this stem, so he won't hold up his leaves anymore. We also have a little bit of like crinkling, which can also be a sign of frostbite. So unfortunately, we weren't really aware that the 10-day forecast had changed. It changed about 2 days after we had already planted everything. So at that point, we had to make a decision if we were going to try and cover them for the night, if we thought that they would be okay. And honestly, we thought they would be okay. We didn't try and cover them at all because they are brassicas and they can handle a light frost. So we didn't do anything about it. We thought that they would be fine. And it turns out that they indeed did not do well. Some things that you can do if you do have like a frost coming that would help keep your plants a little bit more insulated is to heavily water them right before the frost. And also you can put like a bucket or plastic or something over top of them for the night. But the thing with the coverage is you have to make sure in the morning that you come out and uncover them, because when the sun comes up you can do the opposite effect and you can overheat them. So honestly, it was the day after Easter. We had to go back to work full time and we just got really behind and hung up, and we didn't really get out to cover them. We did make sure they were watered, but I don't think that was quite enough. And I don't know if the hardening off process, if they just hadn't been hardened off quite long enough, because when we were hardening them off, it was kind of warmer weather, so they weren't really exposed to super cold weather. So I'm wondering if that had something to do with it. But the good news is most of the plants, if they are the majority green and they're not like falling over or browning, they will usually bounce back. It just might stunt their growth a little bit and take them a little while to pick up speed. So hopefully they will just bounce right back. I'm out here kind of watering them to make sure that they get extra nutrients and everything that they need, but there's not much else I can do, and for whatever we lose, I could always replant. But luckily, I also overplant, so we should still be fine, even if we lose one or two. So that's kind of the luck of the draw with it. I mean, technically Monday when we had our frost was the last day of our frost season, supposedly. So we did jump the gun a little bit, but with brassicas you should be able to do that technically. So yeah, here's what it is. What are you gonna do? Plants are pretty resilient. I gotta go look at what Hank just did. I had to yell at him because he was in my garden bed where all of my fresh onions are planted and he trampled them. That's Hank footprints right there. Doesn't have a care in the world. He missed this guy, luckily. Just missed that one. So close. These onions actually look pretty good. Onions are usually good in frost. I mean, technically so are brassicas, but they don't really seem like they've been bothered much. He might have stepped on a scallion there, but other than that, I think I caught him in time. Ooh, that was close. Little butt. They're a little yellow, but I think they'll be fine. They're just a little stressed. But they all look okay. This one's a little brown. We may not make him. This guy does. I mean, we had pretty small ones to start with. Honestly, I was kind of surprised when I got my bundle. I wasn't super happy with it this year. They were all just kind of puny and wimpy. So, I think we're good though. But yeah, they look like he didn't even trample any of these guys, and they're looking a little brown. They're green on the top, so that's good. But even like this Brussels sprout got it pretty bad. He's pretty purple. He's got a lot of yellowing to him. But then like this guy seems unbothered. It's just very random. Like these are new leaves, so this guy will be fine. Those other leaves will probably die off. He's got one good leaf, so he'll probably be fine. Ooh, this guy back here does not look the best. Got one green leaf, so he might come back. Hold out hope. How did you guys fare? Yikes. One good leaf on that guy. He's got a few good leaves. He just looks a little wilty. I think he just needs some water. They're a little stressed. They don't have water. Wait. Yikes. One good leaf on him. This happens every year to us though. Every year the weather tells us one thing, and last year we waited till the very last minute to put anything out, to the point where I was kind of worried that we weren't even going to get a good harvest because we waited so long to put them out because the weather was just not in favor of us. And yeah, we had like snow this past weekend, and it's supposed to be the end of frost season. So, I mean, you can only do so much. Eventually, you just gotta plant the garden and hope Mother Nature cooperates. So, more updates to come. We are currently gonna be filling our new garden beds back here. That's what Trev's working on. I do have to put the other three I put out front. I'm gonna fill them with herbs and lettuce and strawberries and things like that. So that's what we're working on this week. We are getting our meat birds this week, so stay tuned for that. It's gonna be exciting to have our meat birds. So they'll be going in the brooder, and then the very next week we're gonna be getting our first batch of laying hens, and then the week after that we get the other half of the laying hens. So super excited. We're gonna get some chickens here now. You did not see our update. Our chicken shawl has been moved down here, and that we actually put our 4 layers that we have currently in there. And the reason why we're doing that is so that they can rip up the ground for us so that we can get our corn started. And so we're actually gonna do some in-ground planting with corn this year, which is different than previous years. We've tried it all, and corn seems to be our kryptonite. So if anybody has any advice or tips and tricks, one year we had a cutworm problem. Another year we had too much rain. They actually got washed out. And then last year they were ready to be picked and we got pests that kind of picked them off. So we just have not had any luck with them. So we're hoping that this year, planting them in the ground with an electric fence, might get some success. So we'll keep you posted. But that's what they're doing over there. They're making up some nice ground for us for planting. Got to utilize all the animals on the farm. They have to earn their keep. And then once our meat birds are ready to go out, they'll switch places and they'll go out in that chicken coop instead. So yeah, just a little update for you. Unfortunately, it's one of the things with gardening. You never know. You can't predict Mother Nature, so you try your best with what you've got. And I think most of our plants will be fine. We'll see. Just give them a nice drink of water and hopefully they bounce back. Alright, y'all. Well, this is just a short little vlog for today. I will give you guys more information in a little bit, but till next time, thanks for watching. Have a good one.